attitude. Trouble don't last when the tough get going. Baby, all we do is win, so show me my opponent. Adversity, doubt, stress, could care less. Cause how we handle those like an S on our chest. Super proud of how we held it down on the way up. Can't wait for our day to...
Great.
Here we go. Episode 6 of On the Mess Express.
Episode 6.
We've got some stiff competition this week.
Why?
I don't know if you heard, but Tay-Tay, your girl Taylor Swift, she was on her first podcast, I believe, this week for the
First
Kelsey brothers.
podcast ever?
Yeah. I think. I'm not a big Swiftie, so I don't know that for a fact, but she was on a podcast with the Kelsey brothers and she promoted her new album dropping. So the Kelsey brothers, good for them. Like they're struggling NFL and 1X NFL players, and they got to do the Taylor Swift album drop. So we've got to bring it this episode to compete with that.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be easy, especially with.
You don't think what'll be easy?
To compete with the Kelseys and the Swifts.
No, but that episode already aired.
Right.
It already dropped.
I understand. Especially considering we're in allergy gate right now. We've both been smashed with allergies this past week.
Yeah.
So much so that I was actually thinking this morning how you were reenacting Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You've been constantly moving from room to room, trying to find where the either coolest, like the coldest spot is, or just something different for you to try and catch some Z's.
Well, yeah, I haven't been sleeping because my nose has been clogged. So I've been pretty much sleeping on the couch.
Couch?
Upright. So I can breathe.
And then I caught you were in the bed last night and you got up and you left and I was like, oh, she must have had a decent night's sleep. And then I woke up, I saw the two boys on the couch, and then I was like, where's Vanessa? And you were in Dallas's room having a nap. And then
just going all over the place, just trying to get an hour's sleep. That's all I wanted.
And then you got up and then went back to our room.
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah, and that's Goldilocks and Three Bears. This bed's too soft. This bed's too hard. Oh, this bed's just right.
Yep, that's exactly what was happening.
Yeah, it
still had terrible sleep. Didn't matter where I went. So
I know.
Hopefully tonight's better night because it's been a week now.
Allergy season sucks. If anyone out there has remedies on what they do other than taking, like, and we take doctor prescribed medicine for it, right? We don't just
I've even been taking that Hydrosense and it's doing nothing. It's not clearing me up at all.
Oh, that's a call out on live radio. Yeah, that's stuff's disgusting, right? It's supposed to shoot up your nose and then
it is gross. It makes you choke and gag because as it goes up your nose, it comes out through your mouth and it makes you choke and gag.
I don't think it's not supposed to do that though.
I'm probably not doing it right.
No, yeah, I don't think you're doing it right. I think it's supposed to go up your nostril and out your other one.
Well, maybe I'm so blocked that it's just coming out my mouth. I don't know. It's disgusting. It's a struggle bus.
So I was on the couch this morning and I heard you like spit and I never hear you spit. And I was just like, what the fuck? What's she doing over there?
Because the shit went up my nose.
The hydrogenase.
It was coming out of my mouth.
Yeah. That's so good.
Disgusting.
Oh man.
Nothing's
So
working. Hopefully tonight's better night because I think we're just all tired.
I'm gassed. I mean, the last few nights I haven't had a good night's sleep. And then we've been kind of going. We got to do a doubleheader of Dallas's soccer on Saturday and the excruciating heat.
Oh my God. I honestly think like today I felt so bad and I was getting the chills and I was getting like hot flashes. And I think it's just a mix because we were sitting in the soccer field in the blazing sun with no shade for like 4 hours.
Like a minor heat stroke type of deal?
Probably.
Yeah.
Like it just was not a good situation.
Yeah, I was telling
we need to get an umbrella for these days. We really do.
I was telling some of the parents, I was like, if you and your mom are complaining about the heat, you know it's hot outside.
Yeah, it was too much yesterday. Right. I mean, I don't want to complain about the heat because I don't want winter to come.
No.
I much rather have the heat. It's just we haven't been smart enough to get an umbrella at this point.
I mean, there was an umbrella in the truck. We just didn't grab it. So
you didn't inform me of that?
I actually didn't know until after we left our friend's house last night. And I was putting stuff back in the truck and I was like, oh, that would have been good to know that we had this umbrella sitting here.
God, such a day.
Yeah.
Just it's just an exhausting day. And then,
there was
a soccer party after.
And then we're going to the soccer party after. Yes, exactly.
Got home at God knows what hour. And then the first thing Dallas says this morning is, "What are you doing today?"
Oh, yeah. Who can we play with today?
What are we doing today? We're doing nothing today. I had minor heat stroke and I feel terrible and we're just all tired.
Yeah,
So
100%.
you can relax for one day. Not going to kill you.
Well, I mean, we're driving. I'm driving back and forth to work every day. And then in between that, there's sports or other stuff we have to do. And then obviously Saturday is always a soccer day. And I was just like, yeah, I'm good just to not go anywhere today.
Too much. I wish it was a long weekend this weekend.
I think, yeah, that's still,
I mean, every day's
still
kind of
2
been a long
weekends away,
weekend,
right?
but still.
And yeah. Well, no, we've got some news. Breaking news. Do.
What's our breaking news?
You are no longer a deadbeat, and you are going back to the working
deadbeat.
You're going back to the working society.
This is true.
Get off the pokey and earn your money.
This is true. I have one more week left of summer vacation.
Your summer vacation is over. It's like you're being a teacher this year.
I know. And honestly, out of all of the years to be off, this was the best timing summer possible because like the weather has been absolutely amazing. Like the boys are off in the summer. They go to camp here and there, but like it just all kind of fell in place. And now like within the next week or so, I'll be back working. The kids are going to be back at school.
Right.
We got this podcast going. We're just going to start getting on a different routine.
Well, congratulations to you. Everyone in the Simpson household is happy to hear the news.
I think you were happy to hear the news.
I am the biggest Vanessa supporter, so yes, I am the most happy that you're back at work.
Right. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
We'll see how it goes. So it's funny that we're talking and it's all fun and games and happy for each other because this episode we're going to talk about how our kids
sibling rivalry.
Yeah, rivalry, deathmatch. Yeah, insert word here of
jealousy, fairness, fighting.
How is it possible that during the day they hate each other, but at night they're like they want to sleep in the same room or they're best buddies, and it's like no, we're good. Like
I think it happens, with majority of siblings. Like
for sure,
you're best friends at the end of the day.
Been there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Best friends at the end of the day. Like I think for the most part, they're pretty good at school together. They're not in the same class, but when they see each other.
Yeah.
But then they'll come home and they'll fight. They'll hate each other, but then they'll sneak into each other's bed at night and sleep together. And when they're having a good day, they're like best friends. So it's like whiplash all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of it comes down to they're very close in age, and Dallas always kind of wants to assert himself as the big brother and almost as like an alpha, and it's quick for him to kind of pick on Levi, and then have the other kids kind of flock to Dallas because I mean our community is pretty sporty, right? A lot of the kids in the community, they like being active. I'm not necessarily saying everyone's like great at sports, but they like being active, like doing things. And Levi is, he's a different breed.
I think that's a lot of siblings though, and that's why like what this episode would really be about too. Like,
so let me ask you this then. Me and my brother growing up would fight all the time, but me and my brother, you would say, are exactly the same right now, right?
Me and my brother?
No, me and my brother.
Talking
about me.
Would I say you guys are the same?
Yeah, would you say we're similar?
Yeah, I guess.
Right? We have the same interests. We do the same stuff, right? So growing up, it made sense that so we had a bigger gap, right? My brother's 3 years older than I am, and he would always have his friends around. And as the younger sibling, it's like, hey, I want to hang out with these guys. Like they're older, they're cooler, like whatever. I've already mentioned that, a lot of my musical interest were a result of whatever my brother was listening to. Mm-hmm. So if my music was like that, it's like, oh, you guys are going to play sports? I want to come. I want to do this. I want to do that. So I could see how we would fight all the time, right? Because he's like, get away from me, right? Like, you're so much better than I am at sports, and my friends like you better than me. I assume that's what he's thinking at the time when we were younger.
Maybe.
Yeah. But
I think for the most part, siblings in general, though, like a lot of siblings have similar interests. Like if it's whether it's two boys, two girls, vice versa, like they're into sports together, some type of sports,
But
or they're into like extracurricular activities and whatnot, but it's not necessarily always the same. So,
well, this was my point. My point is me and my brother, because we're similar, I understand how we would fight all the time. With these two being so polar opposites, like they're not really doing the same stuff. So how are they getting in each other's space and conflicting and fighting? Like that's the part that like I understand boys will be boys, kids will be kids, but like they don't overlap, they don't mesh. So that's but we'll get into it. We'll try and solve the world mystery of sibling rivalry by the end of this episode.
yeah, they're siblings at the end of the day, and siblings feel most comfortable with each other. Sure, they can have best friends, they could have different social groups at school and sports, whatever. But at the end of the day, like you fight because you love your siblings and your siblings are your best friends and you feel most comfortable with them. So it's just you want to pick a fight that day, you're going to pick a fight with your sibling. If you're mad or having a bad day, you're going to throw a shoe at them or whatever. It's
Right.
just it's their comfort zone, really. They're comfortable with them. So they may be polar opposite, but at the end of the day, they are comfortable with each other. So they're going to get in each other's face.
100%. 100%. I remember the one time that they were fighting and then Levi called Dallas like a maggot or something. And like
A maggot.
he was so young and he like,
What?
because he just comes up with like these words, just we don't even know where he gets it from, but he called them this word. It was just wild. And
Levi used to call Dallas, what was it? What's that like infection or something? Oh, you're such a like a disease. What was it?
yeah, he didn't call. Yeah, I know. I think that's the word I'm thinking of. And I thought of maggot instead. But yeah,
Oh my God, what was that word? It was so,
and he was 5.
yeah, it
Like he
was
was like 5 at the
wild.
time and he was like busting this out. Right. So I mean, I don't know why or how, or I mean, most of the time I think I know why it starts. I don't know how to put an end to it. Like even on like that given moment, I don't know how to put an end to it.
Well, no, they're learning social skills, really,
Okay.
basically, and conflict resolution because they have to figure it out together. And you don't always want to step in unless it's starting to be like an unsafe environment. You want them to work through like conflict resolution. You want them to be able to work things out, have a fight, get mad at each other, but then figure your shit out. Like,
Yeah.
get over it. It was a fight. You're just mad. This is your sibling. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, you have this person for the rest of your life. So
Right.
get over it. And it's just teaching them more social skills, really, I think.
Yeah. The problem is, and by the way, the word was parasite. Call them a
Parasite, right? Oh, you're
He
such a
calls
parasite.
them a parasite. Like the problem is like
Where
Levi.
do you learn that word at 5? You're such a parasite.
Levi's such a sensitive boy that when something irks him or puts him over that edge, he just goes into this like crazy like fit of rage. And we've tried to work with him on like, hey, like we know your brother can be a bit of a jerk. If he's gonna be a jerk to you, like you just need to learn to walk away. You gotta come find
Mhm.
mom or dad and be like, hey, this is what's happening, and then we'll deal with it at that point. But um I think it's just been over like the last year. It's kind of calmed down lately, but been the first time that I've actually noticed fists being thrown. A couple times someone's, and luckily
Well, they're
it's
getting older, so they're learning different kinds of, unfortunately, conflict resolution, and that sometimes can lead to actual fighting.
so what would you say is the best way for us to try and handle when they're fighting and
I
they're
think unless it starts to become an unsafe environment, let them hash it out. Let them have at it because they need to learn those
it's so frustrating.
skills. It is frustrating, but you don't want to step in all the time and be like, no, don't do that. Don't touch him because they know they're not supposed to be doing that.
Right.
So fine, if you know you're not supposed to be doing something, if you're throwing punches, if you're getting mad, if you're kicking each other, fighting each other and someone gets hurt, well, then you know you shouldn't have been doing it to begin with. And hopefully you learn something from that.
Right. Yeah, the worst part is like they're young. They're only, you think they're gonna get better, but it's gonna probably get worse as they get older, stronger, and like
Well, yeah, they're
conflict
building
more.
they're building resilience, really,
Yeah.
because they're so young now. I almost would prefer, if for them to have conflicts together so they can learn how to properly hash it out so that when they do go to school or when they are with their friends,
Mhm.
they're not throwing fights. They're building their resilience, but they're also being aware of their social skills and being aware of, okay, I do this at home with my brother, but I can't go and do this at school with my buddy when I get mad at them.
Right. So that's the one positive that we can take back. And our kids always get some kind of praise when they're at school. Like, oh yeah, your kids were great. Or they go to a friend's party. Your kids were great. They were awesome. Right. So it's like, good, like fight your brother, pick on your brother, but like, yeah, you treat others with respect. So like, that's kind of a good takeaway for us, which is kind of I don't know.
Yeah.
Stepping stone? I don't know.
Anytime they're outside of the house, if they're somewhere, the odd time, like at camp, for instance, these past couple weeks, there's a couple little like tiffs with Dallas and another kid. But apparently Dallas like knew right away he was in the wrong, and he was just like, I'm sorry, and he apologized.
What?
And yeah.
What happened? I don't need to again, date night. I have no idea about this story. Like, what happened?
Well, the one that just comes to my mind, they were playing water games,
Okay.
and some kid put the water gun down, and Dallas picked it up and started spraying kids, and this kid came over and apparently kicked Dallas and said, give me that back. And Dallas was like, well, finders keepers, you put it down. And then they kind of started getting into a tiff.
Yeah,
Dallas
finders
pushed
keepers.
him. Dallas, I think, called him a name or something. And then this kid started crying. And then right away, Dallas was like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that. So like, sorry, here's your stupid water gun back.
Yeah. You know what though? He made him cry without physical violence. He made him cry with words, which is, it's not great, but at least he's not hitting back, right? And he recognized he was in the wrong. So that's good to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Can you repeat the word that he called him on the podcast, or is it so bad that we can't?
I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, probably parasite.
Yeah, he called him a parasite. You're a parasite. Take your water gun.
Yeah. Go back in your hole, dungeon boy.
Yeah, I think it's important also, though, to not compare kids either, even if it is in a positive light, too. So with Dallas and Levi, for instance, Levi is so smart and Dallas is so good at sports. If you compare them at
Just
each
called the kids stupid without calling them stupid.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think it's important that you don't compare kids, because like if someone is really smart and someone is really good at sports or whatever the fact may be, when you're together with each other, if you just keep praising and praising and praising one kid and not the other kid, they're just going to kind of sit back and be like, well, I'm a failure. Or like, why does Dallas get all the praise all the time? Or why does Levi get all the praise all the time? Because I think it can spark resentment, whether it's towards the sibling, whether it's towards the parents as well. Because if you start praising one kid maybe more than the other, that at an early age can build resentment. I would think when they're getting older, like they're going to be like, well, I don't know about
mental issues, but they could start resenting us as parents. Like, you gave all your attention to the other kid. But I think Levi is quick to understand that Dallas gets the praise for when he's playing sports, like after a game, and Levi doesn't care. Like, Levi's flat out said, like, oh yeah, Dallas, you're a good soccer player, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And I think the struggle is Dallas when we give praise to Levi for academics. But what I had noticed over this past year was Dallas put a little bit more effort into his math. Mm-hmm. And
his report card was better than Levi's, really, for the most part.
And so I think he was seeing the praise that Levi was getting, and he wanted that praise too. Like, he very much is he needs praise to know that he's doing well.
But I do remember, like, Levi was so sure that his report card was going to be like miles better than Dallas's. And when we opened them, like, of course, Levi excelled in a couple areas, but like Dallas, overall, his report card was better. So of course, like right away, I'm like, Dallas, like, this is awesome, buddy. Like, good job, like praising him because he struggled where I knew Levi's report card was going to be strong. But immediately Levi kind of went from like happy to kind of like, oh, like that was my one thing. And now Dallas is kind of coming in and taking that over.
I'm the smart guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to like celebrate each kid's strengths and their own unique abilities.
Yeah.
Without like going into too much praise. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that praising a kid for their accomplishments is different, because I think everyone, in the instance of report cards, I think everyone at school knows that Levi is a bright kid, but he struggles with attention, right? So for Levi to get that higher praise, he's got to do something better than he already does. And he probably doesn't exceed that too much at this age. He will as he gets smarter. But with Dallas, he was not far behind, but over this last year, he has seen a growth. So it's easier for the teachers to recognize that and for him to get those praises and then for us to praise.
Right.
So I think that's where that will bring into that effect. But I don't see us praising one more than the other. In fact, I tell Levi he's my favorite all the time, right when Dallas is standing right there.
Just jam it in
Oh,
there.
you're feeling here today, Dallas? Okay, here, bam, you're down here now. Come
Yeah,
back
for
down to
sure.
earth.
Yeah, I think for the most part are like to this point, they understand what their strengths are, what their weaknesses
Sure.
are. They understand if we praise one over the other, but I think it's important to just not go over the top with the praise with one child all the time. Because in the summer, Levi doesn't have his acting classes and stuff. So he doesn't really do anything in the summer because
Right.
he doesn't play sports. Where every week it's like praising Dallas because he plays soccer every week. He plays like football and stuff. So it's like, Dallas, awesome, you're doing great. Where at the end of the day, it's like, okay, let's take a step back. Like, I haven't praised Levi on anything that he's done for a couple weeks. Like, I don't want him to have like resentment towards us at
Right.
some point because he's like, well, like, I don't like sports, but I did XYZ this week and no one noticed and no one said
Right.
anything to me.
Do you think that having some like one-on-one time with the kids helps?
Absolutely. Even like 10 minutes a day. And that was my next point. Like moving forward, that's going to be my personal goal is I want to have at least 10 minutes a day, like one-on-one with each child, just to kind of like reflect on, hey, how's your day going? What'd you do today? Is there anything you want to talk about? Is there anything you want to tell me kind of thing? And if they're like, oh, like, Mom, I did XYZ. Now that school's coming up today, like, oh, we have a science project coming up and I'm really excited about it. Or, great, how can I help you? Like, let's get you excited about it. Or if there's an issue at school, like, this is our 10-minute time where we can talk one on one, where the other brother isn't coming in and interfering, because I find that happens a lot too.
Yeah.
If I go into Levi's room or Dallas's room and I shut it, immediately the
What are
other
they doing in
sibling
there?
thinks
Yeah,
that they're getting in
exactly.
trouble or something. So they'll come barge in and it's like, no, because maybe Dallas doesn't want to hear something Levi wants to tell me or vice versa.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that they understand that Mommy's going to talk to Levi for 10 minutes, where Levi might not feel comfortable saying something in front of Dallas, because Levi's pretty good at telling me if he's had an issue or if he's upset.
Right.
And he'll just tell me, and he doesn't necessarily want to do it in front of Dallas. But I haven't been like sitting down with him for him to say anything to me. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I have no idea you had a good day or a bad day if we don't talk about it. So I think honestly, 10 minutes a day is all you really need to just get them to talk to you, really.
I mean, you should talk
if
to
they
kids.
want. Don't pressure them, obviously.
You
But
should definitely talk to your kids more than 10 minutes a day.
no,
But
only 10 minutes a day.
that's-
That's my maximum, or else I'm done.
yeah, that's it.
Just 10 minutes.
Okay, guys, you're back from your camp and school, and so you want to do your 10 minutes now, or you want to do your 10 minutes later, and then don't talk to mommy the rest of the night.
Yep. Nope. Bye. Glad. Resolved everything. Everything's good. You're having a great day. Let's keep that momentum going.
Yeah, for sure.
Talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah. You've mentioned something in the past about like trying to team them up and like get them to solve something. Like is that like a mission? I know like in the past you'd be like, hey, go clean the basement together, right? But that just obviously leaves some more fighting because one kid does more work than the other. So if you wanted to team them up or you wanted to give them some kind of a mission, that I'm guessing the main point of that is to get them to work together and use their words and create kind of a team atmosphere. Like what would you be
give them a
trying to do?
challenge. Give them a
like
challenge.
What would that be?
Like go clean up the backyard together. Because if you're like, all the balls are out of the trampoline or all the pool toys are all over the place, don't just be like, Dallas, go do this. Or Levi, go do this. Because half the time it's like, oh, well, Dallas is the one who put all the toys everywhere. It's like, you know what? No, both of you go outside, tag team this, do it together. And then, who knows? Maybe that can spark some kind of bonding between them. Maybe they'll talk to each other. Maybe they'll hop on their bikes after and go for a bike ride, where if I didn't force them to do that, they probably would just come inside and go their separate ways, right?
Right.
So that's kind of what I mean by that.
I find when we do that though, like
like
they
or
fight. They,
even
like
bonding
one
over a
kid will
common
do
goal.
something, and the other kid will just sit around and do nothing. And then it's like they come up, and it's like, oh, I did all the work, and this one didn't do anything.
Well, that's why I think you just have to have them tag team it together. Just be like, okay, well then one's not going to do this. You guys should just tag team together, go do it together, and then hopefully you guys spark some sort of interest while you're outside and you're like, hey, do you want to go bike around town or do you want to go on your scooters? Because one doesn't like doing something without the other.
Right.
So if Dallas wants to go around town, he only really wants to go if Levi goes with him. And like Levi won't go on his own either half the time.
Levi would never go on his own.
So
So
just having them hopefully create some kind of bond
Yeah.
between them and communication gate between them where, okay, no one's home. Well, do you want to just play outside with me for a little bit? And then
Right.
hopefully that happens where they don't just come inside and be hermits.
This morning, actually, they were upstairs and they were on their electronics, and both their phone died. And Levi's like, Dallas, do you want to go downstairs on PlayStation and I'll show you how to get this brain rot thing on Roblox on the PS5? And Dallas is like trying to explain how to turn on the PlayStation, put the code in, and Levi was just like, I was like, Levi, Dallas, just go set it up for him, and Levi, you can play down there by yourself. And he was like, oh, I don't want to do that. And then Dallas is like, fine, like, okay, I'll help you set it up. And then they were down here probably for like a good hour playing
They
together.
were down here for more than an
Yeah.
hour, I feel. They were down here and they were actually just sitting together, playing together nicely. But half the time, Dallas would just want to come downstairs and play PlayStation, but he doesn't want to be downstairs by himself. So he'll like make Levi come down and Levi will do something on his own. But Dallas actually wanted Levi to be involved. So he's like,
Right.
well, what game do you want to play? You want to do car racing? And he's showing him how to set it up and how to play with it, where Dallas doesn't normally do that. So I think it kind of triggered something for him where it's like, oh, I do actually like playing with my brother and I have to compromise sometimes. He doesn't want to play soccer. He doesn't want to play FIFA or football. He doesn't
Right.
want to play Madden. He wants to sit here
Yeah, you got
and he wants to play car racing. And Dallas would never throw on that game on his own, but he was sitting there and getting into it. And he's like, okay, this is maybe something I can do with my brother then. So hopefully they continue doing that. Because they're bonding over something at this point, and
That's over now. That was a one-time thing.
well, I hope not.
Flash in the pan.
I hope not.
A flash in the pan.
I hope not. But we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. It opened the floodgates to just from here on out, sibling bonding, much love for each other, never fighting again.
Can you think of a time where they had a disagreement or were in a fight and they just worked it out themselves without us interfering? Because that's my goal right now.
So
That's my goal right now is I want them to just get into a fight, work it out on their own without us having to interfere.
yeah.
But yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head either where
You're
you
gonna
didn't have to interfere.
yeah,
Did you hear them getting into a fight and they worked it out on their own?
I'm so quick to trigger to just kind of step in where they were in a fight and they sorted it out on their. The only thing that comes to my mind is when they're playing video games together, and then one kid's doing something the other one can't do. They get into a fight and like they're yelling at each other, and then all of a sudden it's like they figure it out together and it's just calm after that. Most of the times I see them fight is like they're like play fighting on the couch, and I'm like, guys, stop! I know this is going.
Or they're
keep going.
fighting because someone changed the channel on the TV or something. And then they'll hop on each other, like punch each other. Like Levi always goes to like pull Dallas's hair for some reason.
Oh, really?
He likes to do that one. But half the time, like I'll just sit back and watch them do it. And I'll wait for a while because I'm like, figure it out, guys. Like, I don't need to interfere. You knew you changed the channel. You shouldn't have changed the channel. And then just
Yeah.
let them work it out.
I guess we're fortunate enough that we haven't had an incident where it's like a black eye or a bloody nose, anything like that, right? Where they've been fighting.
I don't think we've had any of those. There's been incidences where, like, I think Levi bit Dallas.
What a cannibal.
You parasite.
You parasite. You want to know what a parasite tasted like. But it reminds me of a time when I was younger, and for Christmas, we got boxing gloves, me and my brother. And I remember we put them on and I popped them right in the nose and gave him a nosebleed.
Yeah. Yeah,
Gue
but that's just like play fighting though.
guess
That
who
wasn't
yeah, was it
purpose.
though? But guess who was hiding the rest of the day? This guy.
Your mom?
No, me, because I knew that it was gonna come back around at summertime.
Yeah. Well, that happens, unfortunately.
I mean, as long as they keep fighting and it like you say, if they can solve it, that's great. As long as it doesn't lead to, you know, bruises on the face, broken noses, any kind of broken body parts,
Well,
like
no, that's
boys
why
will be boys and they're gonna fight it out. It's just how it's gonna happen.
that's what I was saying earlier. Like, just let them fight it out and only step in unless it starts to become unsafe. Because, yeah, sure, it's annoying listening to them scream and yell. But at the end of the day, I truly think it's like teaching them more social skills, social awareness, hopefully building like resilience,
Yeah,
building up those core strengths and skills that they need in the world anyways. Like, sure, play fight, do all of this at home,
right.
but don't take this into school. Don't do this at your friend's house. Don't do this at so and so's house, where as long as they're fighting, you're letting them sort it out. They're doing their own thing. It's like, okay, you guys just fought and did that for 20 minutes, but like, that's fine to do that
Yeah,
at home. Don't be doing that at school, where
right.
I don't think they do. They know right from wrong and when to turn it on, turn it off.
Sure.
But I mean, stepping in all the time is just going to frustrate the parents more. The kids aren't probably going to stop, not the first time, anyways. So maybe in the back of their minds, they're like, mom and dad don't stop our fights. Then, like, because half the time, maybe they just do it for attention anyway. So if you're not feeding into that, you're not giving them attention, you're letting them just fight it out. Like half the time, Levi will yell like, "Mom, mom, mom," and I'll be like, "Oh, Mom's not home right now. Please leave a message." And he gets like that makes him even more mad because I'm not egging into it.
Yeah,
I'm not. I don't care. I'm like, figure it out, boys.
yeah,
And then if I go outside and come back in, they figured it out. So I think there's a time and place, unless like someone's actually screaming and getting hurt,
yeah,
separate it. But if not, just let them hash it out.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just get so annoyed way too quickly. My blood boils and I just have to get them to stop. I'm just like, I told you guys to stop this. And it's not at that
Yeah.
tone, obviously. It's at a much higher tone in rage.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll work to become better like you.
Yeah. I am A plus poster parent.
Oh, yeah, 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 for sure.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, just to like recap on it, I think, you want to make sure that if you're giving your kids praise, you're being aware of how you're giving them praise.
Right,
And if the other sibling is around, if you're giving one kid praise because they did something great, making sure that the other one isn't quick to look and feel left out kind of thing.
right.
And
Yep.
make sure you're like, okay, you did this really good today, but then like Levi, you also did this really good today too. Because I honestly do think it could, if it happens on a reoccurring basis, could just really just cause resentment, which is something I never want. I never want the boys to resent each other, resent us because maybe they didn't get enough attention or their proper attention, or we were spending too much time with one kid, or not having those sit down 10-minute conversations with each kid,
Yeah.
having them really like open up and be like, what's upsetting you today? Like, oh, well, you kept praising Dallas because he was doing a good job. And like, it upset me because you didn't say anything. Like, who knows if that's going to
Oh, yeah,
happen?
I know.
But
Yeah,
I want to know if that's upsetting them.
we're very fortunate that we have two very different children, but both excel at certain items that they can get praise for.
Absolutely.
It's not like one kid is just constantly playing video games all day and it's like, oh, hey, congratulations. And the other one's out like solving the world's issues at 7 and 8 years old. It's one person excels in this, the other one excels in that. And as a result of that, we're able to give them both praise.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't want there to be jealousy. I don't want there to be fighting. I want there to be fairness. I want to make sure that, maybe one kid deserves praise more over the other one. Or maybe the one kid was being a jerk that day. And it's like, okay, well, great job for you. Kudos for you today. And it's like, hey, like, you did this today and you weren't supposed to do that. So are we going to make better choices tomorrow? And maybe it's not necessarily a praise, but you're acknowledging that something they already know. They already know they did something bad today. They already know that they were in the wrong. And it's like, okay, well, like, I do want to get praise. I want mom and dad to be happy with me. So I'm not going to do that anymore. And maybe I'm going to go do something positive tomorrow and I'll get praise tomorrow and
That's a great
maybe I'll
point.
get some Roblox.
Yeah. There's some Robux. Yeah, that's a great point. It's like, hey, I haven't got praise in a couple of days, and you're just giving praise to this kid over here. And then when you have your 10-minute, conversations, they can be like, well, I'm just a little upset because I have been getting praise. And it's like, well, they're getting praise because they've been doing X, Y, Z, right? What have you done in the last couple of days? And they can think about it. And it's like, okay, exactly. So
Yeah, if you can't think of anything that you did that was positive, then maybe you didn't get praise within the past couple of days because maybe you did do something that was bad. Maybe you did get in a couple constant fights at school. Why are we getting in these fights? What's happening? Like
yeah,
maybe you're not getting praise, but I want to be able to give you praise. So let's figure it out and
Right.
let's do better tomorrow.
That's all we can pray for, is that tomorrow is a better day than today.
Exactly. Yeah. I want them to be best friends. I think everyone wants their siblings or their kids to
Yeah,
be close and be best friends. You don't have to be best friends, but you want them to feel safe with each other. And for the most part, siblings do feel safe with each other. So again, like that's why they fight. That's why they get under each other's skin because they feel that's their person. They feel very comfortable with this individual. But just making sure that there's, at an early age while kids are young still, making sure that, there's not too much res- resentment between them because that could cause friction as they get older.
sure.
And I don't ever want my kids to go separate ways and not talk and not be friends,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah,
I
yeah, for
think it's
sure.
important at an early age they just realize how to talk to each other, what irks the other one, and just being kind humans towards each other where they can grow that relationship and become best friends one day.
Yes. Before we put a bow on this, is there any other questions that you'd like to ask me, or am I scot free for today?
No, no further questions, Your Honor.
Yes. Nice. Well,
You have any brain busters for me?
any further questions? No, I think that it's been proven over these 6 episodes that you are definitely better equipped at handling our kids. You take better approaches than I do.
Oh yeah, let's circle back on that. Weren't we going to
Oh,
circle
shit,
back and
what?
see? Okay, weren't we going to recap over the next episode or two?
Oh,
A
if I
couple
was still
episodes
yelling
again?
at them or
Yeah,
something?
how you have changed because that was something you were going to work on. You weren't going to yell at them as soon as you get triggered or as soon as they do something.
Yep.
Would you say that you have improved, or would you
No.
say that that's still a work in progress?
I would still say we're a work in progress.
I would agree.
If I got my report card back, it would still have an S on it for satisfactory.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Needs
it's
improvement.
yeah,
Maybe an N.
and
Is an N worse than an S?
I think so.
Which one is worse? Needs improvement is worse than satisfactory, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think you're at an N, but you're still at a solid S. S
Yeah.
plus.
yeah. We'll get there one day.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
I do think when it comes to like sports, so like soccer, you have been not as wild as you have been. So we have talked about this on the episodes, how you're crazy at soccer and you haven't been as crazy.
I got praise from the coach yesterday that he hears me yell, but he's fine with it because what I'm yelling is just like a coaching aspect. I'm not yelling at the kids because they're not doing something right. I'm like trying to help them position. So I think that I've gotten better at. I still almost got the middle finger from Dallas yesterday at soccer, but
Did you see what happened yesterday when you were getting? I don't even know. You were telling him to do something or telling him to position somewhere, and he kept looking at you, and you could tell he was getting frustrated. Probably because it was so freaking blazing hot, and he's just looking at you like, getting mad. And then I was like, Dallas, and he looked over, and I like gave him a thumbs up, and like did the heart thing.
Stupid little heart.
I was like, I love you, and he goes,
you.
smiles, and
did he?
Yeah, he was smiled and looked at me, and then you said something else, and he was like. I was like, oh, I win today.
So on the next episode, we'll talk about father-son rivalry and how fathers and sons just fight each other all the time.
Yeah. All right. So we figured out that we're still sitting at an S for you. We're quick to snap still.
Yeah. Very, very quick to snap still, for sure.
But I would say we're doing a little bit better. I can't think of a situation recently where you've snapped and yelled like really quickly.
Right.
Where typically I could count on one hand how many times it happens in a day. So I would say yes, maybe before you were at an N. And I mean, we're moving up the needle. You're at an S. So good for you.
These podcasts are making me a better person day by day.
Awesome. That's all I can ask for.
All
All
right.
right. Well, that wraps it up for today. If
Let's go pop some over the counter or behind the counter pills now and hopefully get these allergies under control.
Yeah, absolutely. If anyone this week catches their kids doing something nice for each other or catches their kids fist fighting and it led into something terrible, let us know.
I personally want to hear about
I want to share those stories.
I want to hear about the fist fighting. I don't want to hear about how people's kids are so nice to each other.
Yeah.
I get it. You guys are great parents. You're better than us.
Yeah, if there's any kind of crazy fist fights or there's anything that happened that was pure chaos, because summer's coming to an end now. There's probably been some fights out there.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know the raunchy fights. What has happened? What was the outcome? How are they now?
Try and give me something that makes me feel better about what I'm doing with my kids. It's
Right,
like, see,
right.
someone else is doing the same thing as me. It's not all that bad.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll close her down here. The train is now going to leave the station. We'll get ready for episode 7 next week.
Episode 7. Yep. Sounds
all
good.
right. Till next time. Choo choo, motherfuckers.
See you on the next one.
Trouble don't last when the tough get going. Baby, all we do is win, so show me my opponent. Adversity, doubt, stress, could care less. Cause how we handle those like an S on our chest. Super proud of how we held it down on the way up. Can't wait for our